Hello everybody, we are here outside Old Trafford to answer your hot takes. And Maud, we have a juicy one to start with, and it is, with all this news around the potential new ownership bid, were Manchester United better without Sir Jim Ratcliffe?
No, look, I think initially I'm thinking no. Glazers, we all hate the Glazers, to be honest. We sing it in the stadium every single week, no to the Glazers. However, there is a flip side to it, because yes, we weren't 15th. We weren't this bad under the Glazers. We had some good players. We made some big signings, which, that's very good. But at the same time, there has been some things that Ineos and Sir Jim have done which the Glazers were not doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. And if you look at the cold, hard evidence and what I can see so far without thinking the potential and this will impact this, we are not better. We finished 8th with Ten Hag, we finished 15th with Amorim. That was under the Ineos leadership team. You've got to take that into accountability. Until we start challenging again, you cannot say that, because even though the Glazers, I do believe, were going to run us into the ground completely, there was some competitive finishes there. With Sir Jim, there's been really no evidence yet. However, I do think Sir Jim with the Glazers is better than just the Glazers. A full takeover is what was needed, but the Carrington project, the making the club a professional outfit behind the scenes, that is going to make us better eventually.
One quick question though, do you think, and this is to everyone watching as well, do you feel like what Sir Jim has eventually led into would have happened anyway? Do you feel like this whole thing with Amorim, that the Glazers would have run into this problem regardless, and Sir Jim's kind of just taking the flak, or is it directly because of Sir Jim?
It would have kept going. The cycle would have kept going. Sir Jim, I think, has positive intentions, and I do think with the investment he's put in, you can reap the rewards. Like that new Carrington space, the recruitment, changing the wage structure, making us a proper team, really, and the stadium and starting the plans for that. It will all have a positive impact in the future. But the short period they have been in, you cannot look away from the fact we are worse on the pitch, and our Premier League finishes are worse.
All right, next hot take is based on the ownership as well. Saudi owners are obviously lurking around trying to buy United, and the hot take is that the Saudi owners will take over next season and potentially win the league in the following season.
To have that instant impact would be out of this world. I mean, I'm not saying it is not going to happen.
Never say never.
I would love it to happen.
Never say never.
But I do think to take a team that has just finished 15th, and then who knows what happened with us this season, it's still up in the air, and then have us title winners when you've got Liverpool, Arsenal, City all at the top of the game, you would have to do some serious catching up just in one transfer window, with the manager, with everything. So I don't think they would win the league straight away. However, it all comes down to the fact whether it is Saudi, whether it was Sheikh Jassim. I do believe a full ownership of Manchester United, a full sale, with owners that are willing to invest a lot of money into this football club to completely change it and completely rid every single inch of this football club that's haunted us from past bad ownership, from when the Glazers came in, would absolutely give us a way better chance of being a successful competitive football team.
Yeah, I agree, and my whole opinion is, look, I know Ineos always talking about being the best in everything, the best in class, but from what we've actually seen from Saudi, they genuinely mean that, and I'm not just talking about football, but across all sports, they genuinely try to be the best in whatever they do. So I feel like for them taking over United, they're going to try and bring that excellency into this club, which is what we all want.
The thing is as well, I don't, just to finish up on this, I don't question Sir Jim Ratcliffe's intentions. I do believe he wants us to win. I think he wants us to win Champions League, Premier League. He wants to do everything he can to make us the best possible team, and he's started to try and do that. However, I want that for United, and obviously there's a big gap in wealth between me and Sir Jim, but there's also a big gap in wealth between Sir Jim
and
Saudi or Qatari investment. There's certain people out there and certain
owners
groups
and stuff like
that can just put ridiculous amounts of money into the football club, which gives you a better chance. Sir Jim is not blessed with unlimited money. He's not got an unlimited pit of money. He's got a lot, but there's only so much he can do. So I do think when you take that next step up to that next level of wealth, it gives you a better opportunity.
So next hot take is a bit more of a generic one, and this is a bit of a, I feel like this guy's a bit of a fan favourite now, even though it's not the club, but the hot take is that McTominay right now would be our best player.
Best player is a big stretch. However, I'm pretty sure he's the I don't think any other Manchester United player was nominated for Ballon d'Or, if I'm not wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
So, technically on paper, when you look at the Ballon d'Or rankings, yes, he would be, but he's done that through being at Napoli. The one thing I would bring in on this is I heard that when Amorim came into the football club, he was fuming that we'd actually sold McTominay. He's like the perfect Amorim midfielder. You know, he's strong, he's got physicality, he gets around the pitch well, he can score goals, he's a box crasher, defensively he's pretty good, he's got aerial ability. Looking back, why did we sell him?
No, I agree with all those points, but that's McTominay in a Napoli jersey. Yeah. That's my thing. Yeah, everything you're saying is 100% fact. He's a Ballon d'Or nominee. He might even be a Ballon d'Or nominee next year or this season anyway. But at United, he wasn't. And that's just the facts. He just wasn't. And he was here for 8 years? Something. He was here for roughly the same amount of time as Rashford was, to be fair. And he never really hit the heights that Rashford did, and we all wanted Rashford to go. So I think the fact that he couldn't do it in a United top, or he just wasn't the same kind of player, I don't think if he stayed, he would have ended up becoming the player he is today. I
agree. And just to kind of finish off on that point as well, when you look at the opportunity he had in a United shirt, of course there was some good moments and he had a brilliant attitude, but him and Bruno Fernandes were here for the same period of time for a lot of it. Yeah. And look at what Bruno Fernandes has produced, and then look at what McTominay produced. Okay, he produced some good moments, but Bruno Fernandes has been our best player ever since he walked into the club. So to say McTominay would be our best player when Bruno's still here, when they've proved in United shirts who is better, it doesn't add up. And also as well, McTominay, by the way, so happy for him. But when you're being managed by Antonio Conte, you've got a world-class manager there that is bringing the best out of you. And I'm not taking credit away from McTominay. We know what his attitude's like, and the league's a bit different and everything like that. So credit to McTominay. But like, I agree with you. In a United shirt, I still think he'd be better than what we currently have. Yeah. I do think he'd make an impact, but he wouldn't be our best player. Yeah, and I'm actually just happy that he's been able to actually fulfil his potential. Like a lot of other players have. Exactly. There's a lot of players that come to United and they come through our academy and they never actually hit their peaks. I feel like he actually is hitting his peak right now, so I'm actually happy for him, to be fair. What about Rashford at Barca as well? Well, the same question. He would be our best player. Yeah. I don't think he'd be our best player. I think Bruno would even get in. It's mad to think because he's playing for Barcelona, but would he get into United's team right now? In this formation, no. I think we played a 4-3-3, you would. Don't you think it's crazy to think, right? Marcus Rashford is playing for Barcelona, one of the best teams in the world, playing Champions League football, doing really well. Yet Manchester United, who've just finished 15th and haven't even had a great start to the season, he wouldn't get in our team. How does that add up? It doesn't. That's why we're such a confusing club. But yeah, I think same with Højlund as well. Højlund right now is scoring quite a few goals and whatnot. Smashing it. If he came to United right now, he'd probably still be sat on the bench, just because of the way our United are. So I think for a lot of players, it's just better to leave and go and play somewhere else. And the hot takes keep coming because the next one is that Manchester United will finish above Liverpool in the Premier League. It is early days, Maud. On paper it could happen, but do you think it will? No. I don't even want to be like a party people. It's just and this is a guy that said 21 was coming this season, by the way. You know what it is? I hate Liverpool with passion, like a strong passion, but like I'm not gonna get too excited, but based on their form, based on our form, we have just won one game. We still haven't won 2 games. Have we won 2 games in a row? Nope. So I mean, look, we still haven't won 2 games in a row. They lost a few games in a row, so it is looking pretty bleak for them. But I don't know. I'm still yet to see a strong performance from United against a good team. Do you know what it is? And I don't want to be reactionary. By the way, I do not think United are going to finish above Liverpool, so it's not going to be one of them ones. But I don't think Liverpool are as good as what people think they are. Don't get me wrong, their squad is off the charts, but it still needs to gel. I've watched every single Liverpool game since the start of the season, and even when they were winning, did not look convincing. They didn't look good. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They didn't actually look that good, and now it's starting to catch up with them a bit. It might just click, and they might just go on an insane run. They've got some absolutely ridiculous players, some world-class players in my opinion, but they've also got frailties. If Konaté's injured, then you look and have they got a centre-back that can really fill in and be at that level? He's not even started the season great. Yeah. They have got weaknesses that you can get at, but will United finish above them? I think it's even a hot take to say United will go and win at Anfield. We've not won there since Louis van Gaal in 2016. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's a hot take. To say United will win at Anfield is a hot take right now. Yeah. And to that I would say, maybe. Yeah. So the next hot take before we've got an absolute banger in from Ricky, and by the way, he's not even bantering. Like he genuinely to his core believes it. So stay tuned for that. Before that, the last one we've got in from the fans, and make sure you keep getting your hot takes in, is that Lisandro Martinez, when he comes back from injury, will go on to win Player of the Year. Wow. You know what I will say though, because I know what you're going to say. So I'm gonna go from the complete opposite argument. I do feel like Martinez might feel like we've got a new signing in.
it could feel like we've just brought in a whole new defender that we've been looking for in that position. That could be a bit of a rotational player, because we can't play him every single game. He's very injury prone, but he'll be a player where it's like, you know what, we might have needed another defender in the summer, but now that we've got Martinez, he kind of fills that slot. So to say we player of the season, that's a bit of a hot take. I feel like, you know, Mbeumo, Bruno, these guys could probably still be up there, but I feel like it will feel like a new signing.
I really sincerely hope you are so right, but the reason I don't think he's going to be player of the season or whatever, I mean signing of the season, if you count it as a new signing, you don't, but the reason I don't think he's going to be player of the season is because, unfortunately, based off track records, he'll probably get injured again. I hope he doesn't, but he'll probably get injured again. You know, you're going to have to be careful with him. Don't get me wrong. I think when he's fully fit, he gets into our best 11 as left-sided centre-back and Luke Shaw is left wing-back. But the
Do you actually believe that?
No, I actually genuinely, because I'll explain my point, right?
Okay.
So Luke Shaw, if injuries weren't an issue, he'd be the best left wing-back in the squad. Lisandro Martinez then would play left-sided centre-back. However, unfortunately, I don't think we'll see Luke Shaw at left wing-back as much as we want him to because of injuries. And then it's a competition between Luke Shaw and Lisandro Martinez. One, who can stay fit, and two, who can get into the team. Now, I know so many people, if we did a poll now, it'd be like 99% think Martinez should play over Luke Shaw. But honestly, do not discount the fact that Luke Shaw is very well liked by Ruben Amorim and he's a top player. I know people don't like him, but he's a top player. So Martinez to be player of the year, never say never. But first of all, he's got to focus on staying fit and also getting ahead of Luke Shaw, which I think will be slightly difficult. However, I know Ruben Amorim highly rates them both, so I hope Martinez is back. I want him fit and firing, but I think that's a long way off to say he can be player of the year yet. Okay,
so the last hot take is from Ricky. This is absolutely wild. So we were going to do, well, we have done a combined 11 from United and Liverpool ahead of obviously the game at Anfield. Everyone sent in their teams, some good teams out there, but Ricky decided that in his front three, he was going to put Isak, Salah and Jadon Sancho.
He even asked, can I please include loan players? And I knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. Jadon Sancho, and if you've read the news, don't know if you believe it, but anyway, he's not even getting on the Villa bench, right? Yeah. And he's putting Jadon Sancho in a combined 11. I cannot physically get my head around it.
Of all the players, even for United, of all the players that we have, Jadon Sancho gets above all of those. And then Liverpool. That's crazy.
I'd have Xerxes ahead of him.
Yeah.
I
have everyone ahead of him.
I don't have the words to come back on that. I just don't. So if you have any comments, put them in down below.
Yeah, and even what would your combined 11 be, to be fair?
Yeah, let us know your combined 11. And stay tuned for Countdown to Kickoff and the forum this weekend as well, because we're going to be questioning Ricky very, very much. So you've got to kind of stay tuned for that, and you've got to come for him and put your points forward if you disagree with him. But look, they are the hot takes, some spicy ones in there.
Yep.
And for now, all that's left to say is get your hot takes in the comments. Keep interacting on our socials. This is a weekly video, and we love to hear your guys' opinion. Let's hope the hot take of winning at Anfield comes true, and we'll see you on the next one, everyone.